Stephen Chow The Mermaid is the funniest piece of environmentalist propaganda I have ever watched. While American children's movies don't move away from the deep-rooted philosophy that humans are bad and you should kill yourself, The Mermaid goes all the way to include genocide jokes, dismemberment and mutilation jokes, and other children's favorites in one full 90 minutes pack. But does The Mermaid redeem China for the human rights violation of keeping a certain Hasbro franchise alive? Spoiler alert. The movie kicks off with Chinese Alex Jones saying some expository dialogue to bored teenagers. He goes on and on about how mermaids do exist and how Taiwan is actually an independent country. Thankfully, it's not long before he goes missing and the movie finally goes to portray the entirely unrelated life of a young Chinese billionaire named Liu Xuan. Finally someone we can relate to. We soon find out that Liu Xuan is working on a big real estate project with his other rich friends that don't take him seriously because he actually earned his money. Liu Xuan then inexplicably throws a big party to them either way to celebrate his new project. There, he is assaulted by Shan, a young mermaid who gives him her phone just before she's kicked out of the party for not being weird enough. Then we follow Shan as she goes back to the mermaid's compound where we see more exposition about how mermaids and humans were once friends but everything changed when the Japanese invented the sushi. Then we find out that Liu Xuan's real estate project is killing the last mermaids alive, and because of that, the mermaids want to kill him. Shan's real mission was to get Liu Xuan to ask her out so the mermaids could stab him to death. The children must be having a blast right now. Liu Xuan still asks Shan out for reasons that I'm not smart enough to explain, and they have then a funny date where they subtly fall in love after Liu Xuan finds out that Shan won't suddenly support him just because he throws money at her. And then they go out a second time and some mutilation jokes after that. Liu Xuan is ambushed by the mermaid and is almost killed. But then Shan saves him because the survival of this one stranger that she just met is more important than the survival of her entire race. Some pointless humor scenes after, Liu Xuan gets trapped inside his own company's death chamber while his evil associate gets an army to go kill the mermaids that are threatening her business model. Then after a bloody battle sequence full of mermaids getting hacked, shot by harpoons like fish, and shot by guns and rocket launchers like humans, Liu Xuan arrives just in time to save Chan's life by throwing her back into the sea. Sadly, Liu Xuan gets shot by 2 harpoons in the area of his chest. He falls onto the hot ground unconscious and hurt. His mind is slowly fading away as he smiles knowing at least Shan is alive. And then he survives. Convenient. We then skip to a few years after this whole mess happened and we find out Liu Xuan and Shan are both alive and well. The movie then ends with Liu Xuan and Shan married and exploring the seas together. It's also revealed that all the mermaids are still alive, which means it's okay to go around hacking and slashing fish because they will all go to pre-credits heaven where nothing bad actually happened, and actions don't have any consequence whatsoever. And then the credits roll and all you know is that you want to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. You are still unsure if it was a good or a bad movie, but my answer to your question is yes. It's actually a pretty good movie that falls strange because it mixes romance, adventure, world building, slapstick comedy tone with graphical violence and gore in the next scene. If you can look beyond basic western screenwriting and throw the concept of tone outside the window, this is actually a pretty fun movie. I say 6 out of 10 would get indoctrinated by Chinese liberals one more time. If you enjoyed this video, please help a little guy by pressing like and subscribe, just so I find out what I can get away with. This was Free and Media and thank you for watching.